Okay? Now let's make it a little more fun. Okay. Now we're going to get into some factorization. Here we go. 2 minus x quantity squared all over x plus xy times 1 plus y over 4 minus x squared. Now let's look. I would do this, but I can't. I'm gonna get my face dirty. First things first, can we factor? Well, we might be able to if we rewrite some things. So let's rewrite this one, because you see 2 minus x to the second power, this is the same as, or what this means is you got 2 minus x twice. That's what exponents mean. So it's going to be 2 minus x times 2 minus x. This is an x, I'm sorry. 2 minus x all over x plus xy. Okay, so we rewrote that. And then over here we're going to have 1 plus y over. Now, we can factor this one because 4 minus x squared is known as the difference of 2 squares. Okay? Because 4 is a perfect square and x squared is a perfect square because x squared is x times x. Perfect squares. Alright, so when you have the difference of 2 squares, that's going to be this. That's going to be the square root of 4 plus x and the square root of 4 minus x. So you're going to end up with 2 plus x times 2 minus x. Okay, we factored. Okay, the next thing you want to do is simplify. So we're going to look across from each other and see what can be what can cancel out to be 1. Okay, and so we're looking at, we got a 2 minus x, 2 minus x. We have a 2 plus x and we have a 2 minus x. Well, there is 1 2 minus x, so that can cancel to be 1. It doesn't cancel out. Cancel out means 0, so this cancels to be 1, and so we don't have to write it anymore, right? So we're only left with 1 2 minus x here. Now, before we get to this part, there is something that can factor out of this problem. We can factor an x from here, okay? And so when we factor an x from this one, we end up with, let's write this down. So we're going to have 2 minus x because we factored the first fraction. Or we simplified the first fraction. So 2 minus x. So now we divided the x from both of these. So you're going to have x, which would be 1 plus y. Okay? 1 plus y there. So now we got 1 plus y. So we got 2 minus x over x times the quantity 1 plus y. Right? And here's the other fraction. We got 1 plus y over 2 plus x. Okay? Now, let's try to simplify these two. Alright? There looks to be like values. So these two will cancel as well. And now you'll just end up with multiplying this across. So now let's rewrite it. We have 2 minus x, because these are 1. This becomes 1 here. 2 minus x all over x times 2 plus x. Okay? So our final solution will be, let's multiply this through. We'll have 2 minus x all over 2x plus x squared. Okay? And typically when we write this, the x squared has to be first. So it's going to be 2 minus x over x squared plus 2x. Okay? And that is our solution here. Okay, so let's see what we did. The first thing we did was to some degree we factored this, or we rewrote the 2 minus x squared to be 2 minus x times 2 minus x, because any number raised to any value raised to a power is that value times itself this many times. So 2 minus x squared is 2 minus x times 2 minus x. 2 minus x twice, okay? Then we simplified by canceling out those like values here, okay? Then we looked at the denominator down here and we factored an x out. end up rewriting that because this became 1 and you took this x out as well and you had a 1 plus y, okay? From there, we simplified by canceling out the 1 plus y's in both of these problems, in both of these expressions. And from there, we ended up multiplying. This was 2 minus x times 1, which is 2 minus x. And then we had x times 2 plus x, which is 2x plus x squared. Our final solution was 2 minus x over x squared plus 2x. Okay? All right. Now let's look at one more problemo. Okay? So, with multiplying fractions, you want to factor things out because you're dealing with trinomials and binomials, and then you want to simplify as you would when you were regularly factoring or regularly multiplying, and then you just multiply the numerators and the denominators. Now let's look at an example when you have a trinomial, okay? So let's look at this problem. It says 49 minus x squared all over 7x minus 49 times 7x squared over x squared plus 9x plus 14. Okay. First things first, you want to factor. Here you have 49. 49 is a perfect square, and x squared is a perfect square. So you're going to apply the difference of two squares to break this up. This right here is a trinomial, and you can factor this out because, well, you want to look at the C term, right? And you want to find the factors of 14 that add together to give you 9. The factors of 14 that add up to give you 9. All right. So let's look at that. So here, the difference of two squares is the square root of 49 plus x times the square root of 49 minus x. The square root of 49 is 7, so you're going to have 7 plus x, 7 times 7 minus x, right? That's what this is. Now over here, we're looking at our factors of 14 that add together to give you 9, okay? And those factors are going to be 2 and 7. Because 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 times 7 is, look, 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 plus 7 is 9. Alright, so because our A value, our A term is 1, we can just throw this together with an x, right? So that's going to be plus 2 plus 7, okay? We dealt with that. Here, you can factor 7 from here, and that's gonna be 7 anyways. And we'll see what we're working with. All right, here we go. Let's rewrite this thing now. So we're gonna put the difference of two squares here. So we got 7 plus x times 7 minus x all over. We factor the 7 out of this, so we're gonna put the 7 on the outside. And 7x divided by 7 is x. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. So that's what you have here. And over here, you're going to have 7x squared over this situation here. So you're going to have x plus 2 times x plus 7. Okay, there we go. From here, we will simplify. Okay? Well, we got a lot of things that we can simplify. If you're looking across, there is an x plus 7 here and x plus 7 there. Those can cancel. Then, if you look, no, you can't do nothing with that. So you're going to deal with that. Okay? And let's rewrite it now. So there's no more 7 plus x. See, I thought that you could factor out this. You can cancel out this x minus 7 and this 7 minus x. Those are two different things, right? So it almost got me. I almost got excited, but it didn't get me. So you're going to throw that 7 minus x there times that 7x squared. And then you got this 7 times x minus 7 times x plus 2. Okay, that's what you got. That's what you got. All right. From here, you can you multiply across, and then we'll have our solution. So you multiply across, you're going to distribute the 7 through. All right. When you distribute the 7 through, you will end up with 49x squared minus 7x to the third over, leave that 7 on the outside, and you FOIL this, you will end up with x squared minus 5x minus 14. All right, all times 7. Okay. And so you can leave it like that, or you can factor out one more 7. If you factor out a 7 again, and you throw that 7 on the outside, let's divide both of these by 7. You end up with 7x. Well, yeah, 7x squared minus x to the third over the 7, and you'll have x squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, so your solution then would be just 7x squared minus x to the third over x squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, so that's it. Basically what I wanted you to see is that you got the difference of two squares here, and you just broke down, you factored this trinomial out, and then from there you cancel it accordingly. All right, you cancel things out accordingly. Okay, again, multiplying fractions is just like multiplying fractions in elementary school. The only difference is you're adding the things that you learned in algebra to the concept of multiplying numerators and denominators. So you want to always remember to see what you can factor, right? Simplify as needed. Respect the order of operations though. Follow the order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition or subtraction. Don't forget about this as well, all right? So you got to respect your check PEMDAS, check your order of operations first, factor, then you want to simplify, and then multiply numerators and denominators. Just do the math out.